Hello, I'm Monica Price and welcome to Cuppa TV. The show is very musical today with artists from around the world, including US singer-songwriter and international star Kim Cameron. We also have Birmingham-based young rap artist Smiiffy, and we hear the melodic sounds of Kaliq and Corneulius. My first guest today is a young man who started his career here in the West Midlands and has used his own personal experiences to write motivational rap music. iTunes Top 40 artist, we welcome Smiiffy. Smiiffy, welcome to Cuppa TV.
Thank you, thank you.
Wonderful to have you here, Smiiffy. So, if you tell us about how did your career start?
I started 6 years ago. I started just writing music just for my own benefit, really. I was never very popular at school, so I used it as kind of a method to fit in, but it really didn't work. It ruined me even more, if I'm honest. But then 6 years later, I'm where I am now. I've started taking music more seriously the last 2-3 years, and I'm just pushing out. I'm just down to help people now musically. I just want to inspire people, save lives, and just do a better job. Do something different than every other musician, really.
And why rap, Smiiffy? Why did you choose rap?
I couldn't sing.
Yeah.
I tried singing.
Well, there's honesty.
Yeah, the only place I was good at singing was in the shower. So.
Yeah.
And I live alone, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I just felt like poetry, I was good at it at school. I used to get good grades with poetry and never anything else. So yeah, I just focused on poetry to music, and then it just turned into rap for me, really. And I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it.
And when did you start writing?
6-7 years ago started writing, and then 6 years ago I had my own little Argos mic. So it was only like £5. But I used to rap on an Argos mic and try and make myself sound really good. Never worked until I started going studio about 3 years ago now, and that's when it all started picking up for me, really.
And what about, because you write about your personal experiences,
I do,
Smiiffy,
yeah.
Don't you? So we're based here in the West Midlands.
Yep.
You're well known here, and you know you're beginning to really get a really good following of fans.
I am, yeah.
All across the UK and beyond. In fact, is that important to you? Has that surprised you at all?
It surprised me so much, you wouldn't believe. I was expecting maybe 100 views on a video in a video's lifetime, but now it's hitting 14,000-15,000 views in 3-4 days. And you know, knowing I'm inspiring people to become fans or followers, that's what I live for. That's what it's all about, really. And knowing my experiences can help more people, it's incredible. It's mad what music can do.
So tell us about your experiences. Tell us a little bit about you, Smiiffy.
Now I'm currently working with more mental health charities because I've struggled with my own mental health. I've got really bad depression, quite bad anxiety until I'm performing, and everything just goes away. I suffer with memory problems too, so I do really struggle, but I love what I do, and to inspire so many people across the world, it's mad. So I use my own personal experiences, such as February was probably the hardest time in my life, where on the 8th of February, I'll never forget that day, about 3 a.m, 2 a.m. in the morning, I tried to jump off a local bridge, and you know, I really wanted to end my life, and some random stranger put his hand on my shoulder and he talked me out of it, and the guy saved my life. I did an appeal to find out who he was, but it hit 30,000 people and he clearly didn't want to come forward, but I'm still going to try, because I'd love to do something in return, even if it's something as simple as a beer, a meal, you know, just show some appreciation.
Just a thank you.
Yeah, because through saving my life, I'm doing a lot more for other people now, and I appreciate life a lot more.
So when was that, Smiiffy? When was that?
February the 8th of this year.
This year. So this year. So I mean, you've really you openly talk about your mental health issues, and you know we've had many guests on the show talking about it and talked about the the increase in the young people, particularly young people. So your music inspires and lifts them, really. Is that what you'd like it to do?
That's what the goal is. That's what the dream is. And recently I've started my own like little project. I'm doing it on my own with support from local people that donate stamps and envelopes. I write letters to people that struggle with mental health or people that I feel could do with a little boost. So I write them letters, positive messages, and then on the back of my flyers that I also send out, I send like a little inspirational quote. So like, it takes darkness for stars to shine. Don't aim for the stars because everyone wants to be there, aim further. And, you know, it gives me inspiration as well. And knowing I help people and I get messages back. So, like, I don't get mail back because I don't share my address a lot. No. But I get a lot of emails. Even I've started writing to this year 7 little boy. He's struggling. He's got no friends, really bad anxiety, and he don't feel like he fits in. So I started writing to him, and he sent me his own rap the other day, and I love what I do. It's incredible the impact I can have.
So it's reaching. So it's just, even if you can reach out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, that's really important to you.
I don't mind doing a performance with 5 people, because as long as one of them people listen, you know, I've done my job. I've helped people.
And where do you go to perform, Smiiffy?
All over the UK. So I'm going to Aberystwyth on the 3rd. I do Birmingham gigs, Manchester, Liverpool. I'm just trying to push out there, reach more people now. And
would you like to go into schools, you know, and sort of talk at schools or colleges maybe?
I've done a few charity events, such as Macmillan at schools, where I've done rap for primary school kids about lollipop ladies and stuff. And it's mad, like, I get the kids come up to me like, oh, you're my hero. I get pictures with the kids, and it's a dream. It's like when I perform now, never did I ever expect anybody to rap my lyrics back to me, and it happens now. And I'm trying to get into more schools, but through mental health kind of side, because Mum's always said to me, what do you want to be when you're older? And obviously my number 1 is a rapper. But if I don't succeed as a rapper, I still want to go into schools and rap for kids and, you know, inspire maybe secondary school kids, because what I talk about is really deep. So it's going to take a lot of, you know, hard work to try and focus on certain aspects in kids' lives, really.
And when you're writing, you know, your rap songs, how do you start? Is it just a sort of a walk?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, is it? How do you begin?
You know, I genuinely don't know. It just comes to me. It's like I pick a certain backing track, and whatever comes into my head, then it's what I write about, and then I focus on that subject. And it could take me minutes to write a song, which never turns out very good, but it could take me weeks, and I do focus so hard now. Like, you wouldn't believe, I've recently got my music on BBC, which for me, I nearly cried, because a lot of people never believed in me. And when I said, oh, check me out on the radio, I'm on BBC, people were like, no, you're not. And they checked it out and they're like, oh my God, you're actually there. And, you know, it's just putting people into frame now and working.
And why do you think you are there, Smiiffy? Why do you think that people are looking at your work and recognising you?
It's just what I talk about. I'm a real musician. I'm not going to talk about guns and knives. I'm not into all that. I can't even put a hole in my Capri Sun. So, yeah, I don't know. I just talk about the real kind of stuff musically and just try and help people. It's a dream come true, it really is.
And you've helped many charities, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
So let's talk about your charity work. I mean, you've raised a staggering figure.
I have.
Have you reached the 100,000 mark now?
I've just gone over £100,000 I've raised.
£100,000. And for various charities, is that?
Yeah, mainly mental health now. So I'm working with Kaleidoscope, amazing charity. I'm going to their gala ball. It's going to be incredible. Can't wait to meet new people. There's going to be famous faces there. I've done a song for them with another guy called Pete, so that's going to be played there. So the amount of people it's going to reach and how many people I'm going to potentially help is incredible. Work with a charity called Respect Yourself, which I tweet a lot, so if you check out my Twitter, always tweeting them. The woman, she practically saved my life. She's absolutely incredible.
Tell us about that.
She sends me a text every morning. It's from the charity itself, Respect Yourself.
And what does that charity do? Tell us about that.
It's just like motivation. So it's that kind of stuff, and the support a lot with mental health. So I wake up to a text at 8:30 in the morning, very early, and it's like good words that can support you. Yeah, positivity throughout the day, and you know it's nice to wake up to feel somebody cares, because it's not every day you do that. But they're incredible. I'm going to Norwich to meet them in October to speak out for them and support them. They're incredible. Who else?
And you've worked with Teenage Cancer Trust, haven't you?
I've worked with Teenage Cancer Trust. I've raised some money for them through performing. So what I generally do is everything I earn from my music, so like gigs, if it's a charity event, I'm not going to take money off a charity event. I couldn't do that. Through selling my music, all my money's gone. I don't necessarily need it. I've got the finer things in life. I've got what I need. I've got friends, family, my music. Whereas some people are terminal, you know, haven't got much, so it's only right that I raise money for them and try and support them, really.
And you've got support, you know, support around you, all the, you know, with friends. I know you've come with some friends today who supported you.
My best friends.
Yeah, and is that really important to you, Smiiffy?
It is, like, only the past, since I've known my friends, like my main friends, they come to every single gig I perform at. They cheer me on, they take pictures, they take videos, they hand out my flyers, they do everything for me, so, you know, I've got the best group of friends.
Excellent.
I'm going to be really happy here. Now,
are you going to do a little bit of rap for us today?
I am indeed, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that. What are you going to do? What are you going to perform?
I'm going to do a new song of mine called Go Back. So it's like, if I could turn back time, what I'd do differently. What would my nan think of me now if she could see me now? So that kind of thing, really.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, let's look forward to that. Hold on just a second.
We could go back. We could watch you go back, go back. We'd watch you go back, go back. Back, go back. If I could turn back time, I'd look in the back of my mind and I'd pray to God it'd all be fine. But times change. Who can you blame when there's nobody here with the ink on your page? Keep brave in the way you want to be. Now my name's spreading all over your city. I turn time back to picture you. My mind's distorted, I'm a sick dude. Open the page of the book that I'm living in. Now I'm back and I ain't giving in. Let time freeze, stop and breathe. Who's gonna be with your every need when there's nobody here because you're full of greed? You let my belly rumble when I needed food. Now I'm out the cage and I'm back in the jungle. See, once I saw double. Now I balance my life with the things that I juggle. Tug of war with the media. Fans stop me, so I'm feeling ya. That's how I push you back and leave it at that. But where was you before I started rap? You chat about me and say that I'm whacked and beg a tune. When I jump on track, drop a 16. On my track, please, mate. Go to your friends, so I can't rap, mate. You think that I'm great, mate? Void me off and say that we're great mates. Don't know you or your mates, mate. You're punching above your weight, mate. It's funny, you said I'd never make it far. Now you bait off my name with your friends in the car. Told dad I don't want to wait for my dream. MW, now that's the team. I got tricks on my back trying to push me. I respect that though, because I ride for the team everywhere that I go. And I hope that you know that, but I'm never going to drop off the game. I'm mental and I'm insane. Take me down to my grave. I've been too brave when they put me down, but I'm trying to turn my issue around. Pressure on the guys who want to hate me. Now my tunes on radio, damn it's crazy. It was you who made me. I could watch you go back, go back. I could watch you go back, go back. You could watch me go back, go back. We could watch you go back. In 2009 I started, now where would I be if I just departed? Left in the gutter like the rest of my friends was fakes. You won't come if I bust? I made a name with the little I had, now best friends with my dad, but my mental health, it drove me crazy. It was you who saved me, left in the dark where the light couldn't reach me. Now I beg my music teachers, teach me. You said I could never do this. Why? I never had a talent with music. Choose what you want with your eyes closed. Turn around, anything goes, I'm aggressive. The radio said it, the negative comments you had, I'll dead it. WhatsApp me, no reply, but I've read it, I'm ignorant. But I got credit for the ones who hate on me. Fans, you create me. I'm never gonna stop with a positive mind. A story of life I place in my rhymes. Got a few guys left who back me. And off you to the girls who trap me. I'm never gonna be locked down again. I came out of prison with my pad and pen. If Nan saw me now, she'd turn in the grave. See what I off up the family's made. Now that's just sick. I dig my grave and then I sit in it. Just to prove I don't give a ish for it. Nah, I wanna snap the hands off the clock and go back in time. Laugh at the guys who hate on my rhymes. Never get attention, I was a decent guy. I'm aggressive, and now you know why. You could watch me go back, go back. You could watch me go back, go back. And you could watch me go back, go back. Watch me go back, go back. Then watch me go back, go back.
Hey, that was really good.
Thank you.
How did you feel doing that?
I love it.
It's very emotional.
It's a passion. It's got my story in a song. So like how I've gone through bad times where I've tried to end my life. How I went through terrible times last year and I got arrested and it really changed my life. And yeah, I've been through difficult times, but I don't let it get the better of me. People have gone through worse.
And do you feel that that's made you who you are, Smiiffy, or what you've been through?
Yeah, it's certainly made me stronger. Nowadays, like in the past, if you said something to offend me, I'd be really offended. But I don't get offended easy anymore. I love the abuse now. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Is that the music that's made you feel like that? Is it because you've become so strong and dedicated to your music now?
Mainly. But it's the people that make me. Yeah. So I appreciate all the support I get because it makes me stronger. Yeah. And knowing that I've got a crowd behind me, one person that tries to upset me isn't going to upset me.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And come back and join us again maybe a bit more in the future.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just going to take a quick break now, but come back and join me in just a minute. Welcome back to Cuppa TV. Joining me now is singer-songwriter and guitarist Kaliq. Also joining him is his bass guitarist Corneulius, and they're going to talk to us about their musical journey. Welcome, guys. Thank you. Kaliq, you've already been on the show before, Kaliq, so it's very lovely to have you back.
It's brilliant to be back.
And Corneulius, welcome to Cuppa TV.
Hi. Hello.
Fantastic to see you. And we've been talking just a bit before we went on air about the bands that you were in before you actually sort of got together with Kaliq, and one of them was it Musical Youth?
Yeah, I played just over a decade.
Now sing what song for those viewers who might remember it. Can you sing it?
No, I'm quite up to it.
But anyway, you've joined forces with Kaliq now, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been together for quite some time.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Has
Over
it?
15 years.
Wow.
He's my original and only real bass, he's
Wonderful.
my bass player.
Excellent.
He's my right hand there.
He's your right hand
Right
man.
there,
Exactly. And Kaliq, what have you been doing since we last saw you?
We've just finished off our acoustic album called Velvet Sunshine, recorded with Gavin Monaghan once again. The single's come out, which hopefully we'll play a little bit later in this interview, called Sunshine. And then I'm just trying to put some shows together now to start supporting the release.
Yeah, just to build up the momentum of it, really.
Yeah, because as you know, I wasn't very well, and I've just got better now, so I was trying to get that momentum rolling and get it all going on.
And Corneulius, are you going to be joining Kaliq?
Yes, I shall.
Yes, on this lovely tour.
I will be.
So how long have you been playing bass then? Most of your life, Corneulius?
Yeah, quite since 17. Yeah. Since the age of 17.
Always the bass?
Always the bass, yeah. Though I am trying to learn the technology side of things and teach myself a bit of piano as well to help me along.
So what other bands have you been with apart from Kaliq?
They're not probably well-known bands, mainly local sort of indie bands like The Unseen, which is a sort of a rock trio that I joined, and just mainly sort of like underground type stuff, very experimental.
And what was it about Kaliq's music that drew you to him?
Well, he played me a demo on a 4-track cassette. This is how far back I'm going.
Cassettes. I don't remember those. I don't remember those. We've got viewers who be saying, "What's a cassette?"
And I heard it, and I thought this guy's got something. Because then I've got a reasonably good ear for melodies and things like that. Yeah. And he asked me to join on. I said I would, and within 2 weeks we were working together.
And you've been working all over the UK. I mean, you've been worldwide, Kaliq, with your music.
Yeah.
And this is really important for you, isn't it? Coming back from your illness, that you really sort of make this happen. Is that right?
Yeah. I've got some great things going on at the moment, and everybody's very supportive, including yourself, which I really appreciate everything like that. But I've got that fire back. And people who know me will understand what that means. And I've got that cheeky thing come back, and that zest for wanting to
actually do it now,
do everything and give it all I've got.
Yeah. Where will you perform, Kaliq? Will you perform in the West Midlands first of all to kick things off, and then go further afield?
I'll start in Birmingham and the surrounding areas, and then I'll go off to London and stuff. Do something there, and then I've got something coming up in the new year where, fingers crossed, I'm going to be touring India, Canada and America through a company from India, which is something totally new for us.
Wow, and you're going to be going too, can you say? Oh,
hopefully.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute, I think I need to come on this lovely journey. Oh, that would be very exciting. So you have to tell us, is that kind of in the planning stage at the moment, is it, Kaliq?
I met somebody really special. I know him as Babaji. He's a lovely, lovely spiritual geezer. Loves music and such an amazing singer. he took me on the board and he said my music for him was a healing music, and healing music is special music and it should be out there because it heals people, and that to me made me feel really, really special, because I've always felt my music's, it makes you dance but it's got a spiritual edge to it, and he picked up on that straight away, and that was more interesting for him than anything else I was doing. So it's going to be quite a journey.
Wonderful.
Well,
let's
cool.
hear one of your beautiful songs. So tell us, introduce it, tell us what you're going to be doing.
Since it's been raining today, we're going to play a song called Sunshine, which might help bring it out.
Absolutely, you never know.
Got Corn on the bass, it's the new single, and it's on, am I allowed to plug it?
Yes, you do.
It's on iTunes.
That's it.
Don't care what you say, at a time of the day, I know the sun rays will come back again. Sitting here with my face in this little bright place, I know the sun rays will come back again. Then we'll be okay. At that point in the day, we know the sun rays will come back again. So sit back, take that weight off your face, smile and breathe and dance around your place. 'Cause everything will be fine if you smile like the sunshine. Look what's coming, my brother, it's your life. I don't care what you do, it's up to me and you to share this love with this world again. Ain't no use in pretense, be yourself till the end, and you'll see the sun rays come back again. So sit back, take that weight off your face, smile and breathe and dance round your place. Everything will be fine if you smile like the sunshine. Look what's coming, my sister, it's your life. And again, man. So sit down, take that weight off your face, smile and breathe and dance round your place. Everything will be fine if you smile like the sunshine. Look what's coming, my sister, it's your life. Now, brother, don't you want, and sister, don't you hide. Let your feels hide and crumble and burn in the sky. Then let it all out, then let me back in. Oh, brother, let it blossom, then let it begin. Then let it all out, then let us back in. Oh, brother, let it blossom, then let it begin.
Great, thank you so much, guys. So that's your brand new one.
That's my brand
new single.
Yeah.
That's great, and very makes you want to dance. Makes you want to be happy and smile.
Yeah.
It's the sunshine. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. So when you've released that now.
Yeah.
It's released.
It's been released.
It's been released. What's the reception been like so far, Kaliq?
It's slowly getting momentum, and people have started listening to the song and downloading the song, and I've got some great responses. And it's one of them, as soon as people have started hearing it, they're looking forward to the album. And, you know, so it's pushing that single now on programmes like this, like this one, and on the radio shows like the one I did on Sports Radio last week with Gabby Cabby. It's picking up nice, and it's that sentiment, you know, what that song, what it did to you.
Yeah.
It does that to everyone. It does it to us. It does it to us.
Just a little smile.
Doesn't even feel like it's my song.
So guys, what's the next song you're going to do for us?
The next one, I did a support slot for a couple of friends of mine, Simon Fowler and Oscar Harrison from Ocean Colour Scene. Great band. And it was an acoustic support. And before I went on, I was speaking to Simon and I said, I've always had this saying, you know, that really great saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. And I've always loved that saying, and you know, what do you think? And he went, well, don't you write a song? I mean, I've got some ideas. And I went into the dressing room, and I had a pen, and I picked the pen up, and something happened, and the song just happened in the dressing room within about 10 minutes.
Great.
And Simon and Oscar wasn't in there. And when I came out, I thought, shall I? And I shouldn't have, but I played it to their full audience, and I'd only just wrote it.
Brilliant.
But it went down an absolute storm.
Well, let's hear it now. Just so to take us out of the break.
This is The Pen is Mightier Than the Sword off our new Velvet Sunshine album. And here's the pen.
Excellent.
Spread your love from above. Don't spread it thin. Share what's within. Take a smile for a while. You won't find a love like mine. Leave your hate at my gate. Or your fate won't be great. Rest assured, that my pen is mightier than the sword. Rest assured, that my pen is mightier than the sword.
Welcome back to Cuppa TV. My final guest today is US singer-songwriter sensation Kim Cameron, whose newest single, Falling Stars, has just been released here in the UK. Kim, welcome to Cuppa TV.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful to have you here on the show, and welcome to the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've just arrived, haven't you? Last week you jet-setted in.
I did.
And how are you feeling?
I feel great.
Fantastic. And what have you been doing so far whilst you've been here?
We've been doing a pretty intense radio TV tour across the UK, so it's been a lot of roadside. I've gotten to see things I have never seen before, so I've enjoyed it, yeah.
Fantastic. Have you been to the UK before, Kim?
I have, but really kind of London-centric.
Yeah, so not really to the West Midlands.
No.
First visit to the West Midlands.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And you're originally from Miami?
I'm living in Miami Beach,
Fantastic.
right on the beach.
Oh, could you not bring us some of that lovely sunshine? That's what we need today. Saturday was very good. Yeah. So, and now you've arrived in the UK, Kim, is it all you expected it to be? Are you happy with what you're doing?
You know, I love the people. First, I can understand them, so that's a really good thing. And second, you know, I'm originally from Scotland.
Oh, fantastic.
You know, so I feel like I'm with my kin.
Wonderful. So, was you born in Scotland?
No, I wasn't.
No, but you were there. You've lived there.
In the US, we're all mutts. So
So, Kim, tell us a little bit about how your career started. Where did it all begin for you?
You know, I've always been in music. I started playing clarinet when I was in second grade, and did the whole marching band, and went into musical theater, and was in a cover band, a very awful cover band for many, many, many years. It was while I was working full-time in corporate. After about 20 years of that, I really missed having something to feel like I was getting up for.
Yes.
And I missed pursuing my passion. So a couple of life events happened, and one day I just cold turkey left my job and started, yes.
Just finished it.
I just quit, and
Brave.
I went into full-time music, started a record label, and that was 2008.
Wow. So it's really relatively quite recent, really, for
Yes.
musical terms.
Yes.
Because some artists, you know, have been doing it since the age of 13 and just continue through. And have you seen, you know, obviously, I mean, you've done an amazing, we'll talk about it, you've done some amazing things since you've started your career. But has it been all that you've wanted it to be, Kim, so far?
You know, I'm living the dream that I wanted. So in that respect, that is true. But, you know, I had to learn how this industry works. When you're in a cover band, you're sort of sheltered from everything.
Yes.
So that doesn't really count. You don't know how to tour. You don't know how to, you know, put out original music. You don't know how to talk to the right people. It's a very, very different world. So the first 3 years, I spent a lot of money just learning. It was almost like going back to college, because you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
People forget that how tough the music industry can be.
Yes.
And it is hard work, isn't it?
Yes, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But, you know, now I feel vindicated. I have a song catalog of like 200. They've all been licensed. So it works, but it didn't happen that way to start with, for sure.
And when you started in 2008, so you kind of left your job.
Yes.
Did your family and things think, are you crazy?
Yes.
Has the girl gone crazy today?
Absolutely.
What happened?
You know, it's a tough one, because when people see you a certain way and then you abandon that entire persona, it's very hard for them to accept that. So I had a very difficult time getting people to decide that my decision was best for me. So most people don't like change, and they certainly don't want their friends or their families to change, because
you've been in that particular situation for quite a long time.
Right, that's your box, and you're trying to get out of your box, and we want you back in your box. So it was a very challenging, you know, not only me trying to learn how to do all of this on my own, and start a new business, but also looking for like a support network, and I really didn't have one. So it gave me a lot of strength. I mean, that you wouldn't normally think you have, but you know, once you get through it, then you're a completely different person. I mean, I couldn't have ever imagined in 2008 that I would sing in front of 70,000 people. That just would not have.
So that was in your first year?
No, that was a couple of years ago for the NFL, and so the first time was in 20-degree weather, which was horrible to have to sing while you're doing this in the field. But the second time was for the New York Giants, and it was about 75. So I was very happy about that.
Good. 75 was good.
That was better.
But I mean, it's wonderful in America, because at the NFL they do have many singers, don't they? Do they invite? How do you get invited? Is it?
It's quite an honor, actually, because the NFL in particular has very few home games, and so they probably only have 6. So they're only, every year, they're only selecting 6 singers per football, you know, team. And so to be selected, and I was selected twice, is quite an honor.
And they just presumably just look at your work and see what you're doing.
Yeah,
is that how it
they're
works?
very particular, and it doesn't necessarily make any difference if you have hit records or don't hit records. They're looking for, do they make sense for our brand?
Yes.
Do they make sense for us? Are they professional? You know, can they sing national anthem without messing up the words?
Yes, that's right, yes.
So it's all of those things. So it is. I mean, I truly thought it was the best experience ever. But it's terrifying, and it's.
I can imagine. And in front of how many people?
70,000.
70,000. That's a lot.
Yes.
and the crowd. Because I've been to an LFL game, and the crowd goes very silent.
You have to.
Completely pin drop silent.
Yes.
And they're just waiting for you to sing. So no pressure.
Yes.
So how were you feeling? Were you feeling very nervous at that time?
Well, they don't tell you all the things that happen. So some of it is a surprise. Like I didn't know they were going to stick a TV camera right in front of me while I was doing it. So that's a little bit strange. And then on the side, you show up on this big Arbitron, so you get to see
yourself
at the side. Probably the worst is not the 70,000 people. The worst is that you have this huge slapback, about a good second slapback. So it messes with your head because you start singing and then you hear what you just sang and you think, well, that's not right. I did sing that. So you have to ignore everything that you hear, and just focus. Which goes against you as a singer who wants to hear what you're doing to make sure you're pitch perfect. So it's a very different. It's just because of the way the stadiums are designed. It doesn't happen like in the rest of the stadiums. It's really just football stadiums.
It's wonderful. I mean, before that, going back to the beginning when you started in 2008. So what did you do? You left your company.
Yes.
Then what did you do?
Started writing songs.
Just writing.
Yes, I started. I put out I found. It took me a while to find the right producers, but I wanted to find producers that had done hits before because, what's the point of hiring a producer if they're learning? I was already learning. I didn't need to have them learn.
Some strong professional people around you.
And so the first album came out in 2008, and I got my taste of songwriting and a different level of musicians than I had in my cover band, obviously. And formed a band, and we went out on tour with the first album and went across half of the United States, which was
and this is
very
with
difficult.
Side FX, isn't
Side
it?
FX, yes.
So Side FX are a high energy band, dance band, really, aren't they?
Dance band. Yes.
And one of them features in your video, doesn't it? Which we're going to be seeing later on. So have you also been with the same guys really from the beginning then?
For the most part. I mean, it's hard for that many years to keep everyone, but just because people move or transfer or whatever they do, and so but I'm very close friends with all the musicians I've used because we all have a common goal, and that is to play great music. And that's how you kind of find the right fit to work with people, whether it's producers or other musicians, is people who really want to play great music will play great music together.
So when you went into your first studio and recorded your first album, when you came out of that, how did that make you feel, Kim? Must have been a huge sense of pride.
Accomplishment.
An accomplishment to have done
that. It is. And when I first put this label together, I thought, well, success for me would be if I can produce, have 5 albums underneath my label. And now I'm on number 8. So I've exceeded one of those goals.
Yes.
Well, or I talk too much. It could be one of the two things.
But so your first album was a success. Was it everything you wanted it to be, your first album?
It wasn't everything I wanted it to be, but it was a great first start. It sounded great. It was a little bit more pop than dance than what I wanted. It had too many guitars in it, and that's just because the producer I used was really more of a rock guy, and I pushed him into that pop dance area. But as I graduated and learned about other producers and had something to say, look, I can do this, then I had more producers interested in working with me, so I got a little bit better flavor.
So as you continued and produced your albums, if you say you've got 8 albums. I mean, that's a great accomplishment. Did you sort of stay with the same people, or did you move on? Where are you now as far as your producers are concerned?
Yeah, I'm a big believer of trying out more producers just to see if you get a different sound. Not that I've had a great experience with all of them, but I also believe you can get to a point where the sound starts sounding too similar to each other, and so you have to mix it up to make sure you have that. Because I know I have a certain sound, but I don't necessarily want that sound all the time. I want somebody to come and challenge me and say, Kim, you need to do something different. In fact, I had this, the Wide Boys have done a couple of remixes for my songs, and they're phenomenal. They've got a totally different set of ears.
It's a different look, really, I suppose.
Exactly.
And the new song, which is Falling Stars, that again, different video, totally different from what you did before.
Yes.
Was that? Did you do that on purpose,
Absolutely, Kim? Absolutely. Well, and my fan base, they want to see what is she going to do next. I mean, it's like anything else. We all crave the next original song. I mean, otherwise we get bored. And so the same is true with videos. I mean, what can I give them that I haven't given them before? And so I do try to think outside the box. I mean, there's only so many like love scenes that you can do on the beach before you just not another one, please.
And I mean, when you did the video, where was the video shot? Did you shoot
it was Miami Beach.
In Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Again, working with your band, and one of the guys is actually dancing on band. Don't give too much away. They're going to be seeing it soon. Again, were you very happy though when it finally finished and it's been released?
When it was finished, yes. During the process was a little challenging, just
lots
because
of different hairstyles. Won't give too much away.
Yeah, I was very worried. The outfits they wanted me to wear and how they did my makeup was. I was not sure how that was going to turn out. It's a little spooky.
It works though. Obviously I've seen it, and are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it now.
Yeah, that's it. And now, so you've got this Falling Stars, which have just started, is that right? Here in the UK.
Yes.
So what's the next step, Kim, for you? What's happening after this?
Well, we start a tour in Europe starting next month, so we are very much trying to branch out, leave the U.S. and look at other opportunities.
Fantastic. And from those opportunities came your books.
Yes.
Because you've started a series of books, so tell us about that.
So during our Caribbean tour, a little girl came up to me. She was about 12 years old. And we started talking, and she had indicated a love of octopus. And I thought that was very peculiar. I mean, if you're a little girl, why not like dolphins or starfish or something a little friendlier? And so it was so amusing to me that my guitar player and I, the next day on the beach, which is what you do when you're on tour in the Caribbean, of course.
Yes, of course.
We wrote
Let's go to the beach.
Exactly. We wrote this song called Mr. Octopus, and it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing.
Yeah.
But after we finished it, we said, he said to me, you really ought to write a story around this song. And so that's how it began. And so I did write a story. We did this audiobook version, had all this great, music that we had created, and I did the voiceover. And then, we put it out there just to see what would happen. And it went crazy in the U.S. And so we got requests for a printed version.
Wonderful.
And I didn't know what I was doing in publishing. So I had to find a publisher, and I had to find an illustrator. And so now we're 4 books into the series.
Which we've got here today.
And we, coloring books and plush toys. And
so really that's taken on a life of its own.
It's its own thing.
Yes. And music's still your passion?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just something that's kind of branched off from there, really.
Well, it's, I consider myself a storyteller. So whether I'm telling stories to kids, which of course we're kind of the same mentality level, or I'm telling stories on stage in front of big audiences, it's still a story.
Wonderful. And is there anybody that you'd like to collaborate with?
Ooh, there's so many I'd like to. Probably Afrojack. I'd love to see what would happen. Zed would be pretty interesting. I'd love to do an original with Tom Novi. I think the Wide Boys and I are going to probably do an original together.
Wonderful.
So that could be
something.
anything's got a interesting. Anything very different from me, I think, would be much more fun.
Well, Kim, it's been a pleasure to meet you. We're going to see your new video to play out the show, but thank you so much for coming in the studio. Thank you. So that's it for today's show. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining me here today and for bringing my show alive with all their lovely music. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can join us on Facebook or Twitter at Big Centre TV. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and come back and see me again very soon. Bye-bye.
Look such a heartbreak.